So in the numerical method, or we can also say this is an approximation method, approximation techniques, or computational numerical method. We can say any word for these techniques: numerical techniques, numerical method, approximation method, computational technique. Because for these, what we do, we just write the algorithm and work for these method on the computer, by making some algorithm, by writing a program in any language like C, or in your whatever you want. You can just C double plus, Python. You can use any language to write the algorithm, write the program, and find out the result for any number of iteration. So I think what is the algebraic or what is the transcendental equation. So there is one tip, that I just want to share you. Suppose if your equation is algebraic equation or transcendental, okay. So I'm marking here with the red color. Uh, this is, suppose your equation is f of x equals to 0. This equation may be either algebraic or it may be transcendental. You know very well the equation which can be written in terms of the polynomial. You say these are the algebraic equation, while the equation which are containing some special function like trigonometric function, exponent, logarithm, so they are transcendental equation. So suppose you want to find the root. You want to find the root uh, in which your actual value, in which you want to find two value in which your actual root is lying. So always you check fa equals to positive, or if fa is positive, fb should be negative, or if fa is negative, fb should be positive, so that you can say the root is lying in between a and b. Means you can say a and b at the point in which your root C is lying. So C is what actually C is your main answer. So and also you can do one thing. If you are finding the product of FA and FB, you will get less than 0. Why? Because the one value is positive and other value is negative. So obviously in both case you will get less than 0. So see first what is the geometric meaning of it, because in the competitive examination, not written in the oral examination or something, they just ask ki what is the geometrical interpretation of this. So for the geometrical interpretation, we can say ki suppose we have two roots, like this is one root and this is another root. But for this root, if f is positive, we are supposing this is positive, right? And for the b, if you are supposing this is a negative, so the root, actual root will be in between a and b. And it is sure it may be near to a or it may be near to b, but surely it will lie in between B. So suppose in the examination, you are finding the value of the first root. A is 1 and B is a 2. So it means surely your answer will be in between this, like 1.1 maybe, 1.01 maybe, 1.9 maybe. It may be any infinite number of values, maybe the result of the root of your equation. Okay. So please remember this point, because what students do in the examination, they just write answer which is not in between 1 and 2. They just write like 100, 99, 98, 50, 49, 23. Like this, they obtain the result. How it is possible? Your root is lying if in between 1 and 2. So answer should be in between 1 and 2. So please note this first point, कि always you have to solve your question very correctly in the examination. First find out root A, then B, then after that you can decide your answer key. Yes, my answer will be in between 1 and 2. So this was the first tip. Now see, suppose your equation. Suppose your equation is of nth degree. This is very important thing. Suppose your equation is of nth degree, it means always this will belong n roots. Okay, if your equation is of n degree, always it has n roots. Suppose your equation is of the this is a quadratic equation having 2 degree, so it means that this particular equation has two roots. It may be either real or maybe imaginary. How you will decide the roots are real and imaginary, I will just show in other point. Okay, now this is another example. This was the example number 1, this is the example number 2. Suppose this is a cubic equation. So in the cubic equation, it is sure that this equation belongs to three roots. Three roots. These three roots may be real or it may be complex. How we will decide if this equation has three real roots and no imaginary root? I will decide. I will just show you in the next step. Okay. Now see, this is the important thing in the third step. Every equation of odd degree has at least one real root. Please note it. Suppose your equation is of odd degree. So it has at least means one or maybe more than one. Suppose your equation is of the 3 degree, so it is odd degree. So odd, what they are saying, odd degree has at least one real root. मतलब one तो होना ही है, one real root. Or after this, there may be imaginary root. Okay, but this is not possible for the complex root. Suppose your equation is odd degree 3. So this has at least one real root, 1, 2, 3. Either 1 हो सकता है, 2 हो सकता है और 3 हो सकता है. 3 real root भी हो सकते हैं, but at least one should be there, one. So, but this condition is valid for the odd degree only. We are not asking saying about the even degree. If the equation is of the odd degree, and if anyone is asking the examination ki how many real root at least may be there, so you can just write at least one root. At least one root matlab if the power is two real root, it may be three root. It may be means one तो होना ही है, zero नहीं. ऐसा नहीं कि all roots are complex. So I think you know what are the real roots and what is the imaginary root. Real roots are the real number and complex which are in the form of the iota. है ना? So if the equation has odd degree, it has at least one root. Please note these points because in the Q's examination or in the competitive examination this will be asked. There will be Q's also of the 10 marks for getting internal marks. Now see, this is the fourth tip. If equation belongs with complex root, then occur in conjugate pair. Please note this point. If you are getting any complex root, so it will always be in the conjugate pair. Conjugate pair means suppose your equation is 3x cube minus 4x square plus x plus 88 equals to 0. So can anyone let me know how many real root will be here? How many this equation can belong the real root? The order of this equation is 3. So how many real root may be of this equation? At least one. At least one root may be real and other may be complex. At least one real root. So how you will find the complex root? So that we will see. So if equation belongs with complex root, then roots occur in conjugate pair. Now, it is very sure that since it is the odd degree, so one real root will be there. एक तो real root होगा ही. Now, since the order is 3, so the remaining roots are 2 now. So if you are saying one is conjugate, so one is conjugate root is not possible. So it means that if 2 plus root 7i is one root, 2 plus root 7i is one root of this, so surely 2 minus root 7i will be the another root because this will be always in the conjugate pair. Conjugate means what? If you are writing z equals to a plus IB, the conjugate of this will be A minus IB. So if the positive complex root is there, so surely negative complex root will be also there because these are the conjugate pair to each other. The conjugate of this is this, the conjugate of this is this. So in this way, you can just say कि if equation belongs a complex root, it means the conjugate pair will be also there. It is necessary. So in this way, in the fourth part, you can say if they are giving 2 plus root 7i is one root and find other. So find other means it is sure that this is the one imaginary root. The other root is surely will be 2 minus root 7i. Now one is remaining. So what I'll do, I will just write like this. X minus this one root into x minus this another root. This we are writing with the property this is equals to what you are getting. You just open it. You will get x minus to the square minus 7i square. You can open it very easily. For iota square equals to 1, you substitute this. So you will get this equation. Now from this equation, if you are solving, you will get one imaginary, one real root. So it means that the particular this part every odd degree has at least one root. So we are getting here, since the power is odd, so we are saying yes, there is surely one real root is there. And if at least what is given, it means that at least one to hona hi hai. So one you have and other they are giving, and from this using this property you are finding the other imaginary root also. So hence for this particular question, which is an equation, you have 2 plus minus root 7I and minus 8 by 3 are three roots of this equation. Because the order is 3, the degree is 3, you can say for this particular equation we should have three roots, which is the one is complex, another is also complex, which is the conjugate pair, and another is real number which power is odd. It means that surely there will be one real number. Now see the next very important step. If a plus b is an irrational root of f of x equal to 0, again the same thing like complex root. If a plus root b, like if I am saying 2 plus root 3 as an irrational, this is always irrational number. Irrational number means which is not in the form of the rational number. The 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number. So if it is it is a root of an equation, so it means that there will be uh, minus the pair of it also with the negative sign 2 minus root 3 surely will be there, because they always occur in the pair. A plus root b is an irrational root of the equation, then surely a minus root b must also be its root always for any equation. So these are very good tip by which you can solve many questions in the examination if they are asking like this. Now, the very important thing is Descartes rule. Descartes rule. From this Descartes rules, you can decide ki how many real root, how many positive roots are there, and how many negative roots are there. Okay, because in your equation some roots are positive sometimes, and sometimes they are negative in sign. So how you can decide from the Descartes rules if particular equation is containing positive root or negative root, or particular equation is containing how many positive root and how many negative root. Because in the examination, if they're asking competitive examination कि particular equation is containing, they will give option 5 positive root, 2 negative root, or 7 positive root, 1 negative root. In this way they are giving the options, and in the last they are giving none. So you can use the Descartes rule and find out how many positive and negative roots are in the equation. So how we will check, let's see with the example. Suppose you have this equation. What is the equation? The equation is fx equals to 2x to the power 7 minus x5 plus 4x cube minus 5 equals to 0. So it means the degree of this particular equation is 7. Okay, in this fx, in this function or in this equation, the degree is 7. It means that uh, it should have 7 roots. It is very clear. It should have 7 roots. But you are not sure ki how many negative roots are there, how many positive roots are there, how many real roots are there, how many imaginary roots are there. Okay. So how we will just find out? Let's see. The first term is positive. So I will just mark here positive. Please see carefully. This is the term which is containing the positive sign. This is containing the negative sign. So just I will mark like this. I will, if it is positive, if it is negative, you will mark like this, or you will write 1, because you are getting one changes here, positive to negative. You are getting positive to negative one changes. Now again go for the next. For after x5, you are just going for the next term. If this is negative, you just mark a negative to positive. Again, you are getting one changes. So just count it. This was the one change, this was the second change. I'll write here 2. Because this is one change and this is 2 change. Because it's changing. Then after this, again, just go for the next term. This is positive, negative, positive, and then negative. Again, you will just mark here positive, and negative. The three changes are there. So fx has three changes. Means positive, negative. You just write here completely positive, then negative, then positive, then negative. Thus, fx cannot have more than three positive signs. If it is changing alternatively, plus negative, how many times? One, two, three. So three positive, at least total three positive roots are there. Have not more than three positive roots. Means particular equation have only three positive roots. Other roots are what? Negative. Other are negative. So in this way, you can find if they're asking how many positive roots belong the particular equation, whether it is transcendental or whether it is any algebraic equation or transcendental. For any equation, you can follow this step to find the positive and negative roots. Now, what we do? Suppose we are changing the sign of this f of minus x. This is I'm changing the sign of it f of minus x. So if you are changing the sign, here you will get minus 2 to the power 7 because it is an odd degree. Again here minus 6 to the power 5 means minus this minus positive, and then x minus this is becoming minus and this is minus. Now just check the changes here. Now I have to move for the negative to positive, again changing the sign. It should not negative negative, it should not positive positive, but it is, if it is negative to positive, you just mark negative to positive 1 changes. Okay, negative to positive 1 changes. Then again you just find negative positive then negative 2 changes. So here you will write negative, then positive, then negative. So if for the negative 2 changes are there, it means the particular equation has 3 positive sign and 2 negative roots. The total roots means 3 positive roots, and fx cannot have more than 2 negative roots. Okay, if p is a number of positive roots and q is a number of negative roots, then equation fx has n minus p plus q imaginary root. Now what is the total degree? The total degree is 7 minus how many positive roots are there? 3. How many negative roots? 2. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 or 7 minus 2. So it means the equation have two imaginary root. Why 2? Why not 1? Because imaginary roots are always in conjugate pair. So please note all this step because these step work in your competitive examination. You can find out the answer fast because you have knowledge about the Descartes rule. If the function is odd, it must have at least one real root. If you will follow all the small tips, surely you will just find out your answer very fast. Okay. Now see the remaining method of the algebraic and transcendental equation, which is the bisection method. Bisection method. The name bisection means the equation, your root, you finding a root by using the bisect method. Bisect means, suppose you are saying in the step number 1, the root is lying in between A and B. The root is lying in between A and B means your desired answer of the equation x, the root C is lying in between A and B. So what we will do, we will just find out the value of A and B so that you will get f of A dot f of B less than 0, right? Now in the next step, you will find out x1. What is x1? X1 is the half bisection value of this a plus b by 2, or you can write m1 also. This is your wish. Either you can just, because it is a mid value, so you can use m1 also or x1, whatever you wish you can use. So after this, suppose this is x1 value or m1 value. So you will just check whether f of a dot f of x1 less than 0 or whether f of b dot f of x1 is less than 0. If this condition hold, you will say root is lying now between b or x1. Again, you will find x2 by finding the half of this b plus x1 by 2. Suppose this is x2. Again, check whether the value is lying between f of x1 into f of x2 means x1 means the previous value, or whether it is in between f of a dot x2 less than 0. If you say the value is in between x1 and x2, so it will lie, uh, the root will lie between c1, x1 and x2. So in this way, you just continue the process till you will get the convergent solution. The convergent solution means two approximations same. So in this way, approximation method, which is known as a bisection method, works to find the root of the equation. Okay, or geometrically how you should know the geometrical meaning of each and every method, because in sometimes in the interview or they ask about it, ki what is the geometrical interpretation of the particular method. So you should know also ki how we are using this particular method and finding the root with the geometrical concept. What we do here, suppose you are saying ki root is lying between A and B. So this is your A, this is your B point. So on B point, you are getting the value f of B. Similarly, A. So now the root is in between AB, means we are supposing here is root. This is your root. What we are doing, we are just taking the mid value of it. This is the root. This is the root. First of all, you're finding the mid value. For that, suppose that mid value is your x1. You just draw the perpendicular here. Draw the perpendicular which falls on the y-axis. So you say the root is lying between x1 to a. Now again take the mid value of this. Suppose the mid value is x2. Draw the perpendicular. Suppose you are drawing the perpendicular on the curve. This is falling here. So you say the root is lying between x2 to x1. Now again just take the bisection of this. Suppose this is bisection which is coinciding at the curve on the x-axis. So this will be a desired root. So this is the geometrical interpretation of the bisection method. Based on the bisection method, the question is for the bisection method, find a real root of the equation x cube minus 2x minus 5 equals to 0 by bisection method. Okay. Find the real root. Already they have given the real root. It means we will not think over that the root is complex. Means you have to obtain a real root of this equation. Means you will obtain only one real root. You will not bother about we have to find three roots. How what type of roots are there? Whether they are positive, whether they are negative, whether they are quadratic, not quantitative, whether they are imaginary or real, you will not bother for that. Already they have given this word, find a real root, means you have to obtain a real root. Or there is one tip, if the equation is of the odd degree, so always it has at least one real root. So already this is odd degree, so it means there should be a real root. So they are asking to find this real root by the bisection method. Okay. So first what we do, you just write the equation. The equation is in the question fx equals to x cube minus 2x minus 5 equals to 0. Now see, the root is lying between what? Suppose I am substituting here f of 2. So what is f of 2? The f of 2 value is, this is 8, this is 4, this is minus 5. Means you are getting negative 1. Okay. If we are substituting f of 3, this is 27 minus 3 to the 6 minus 5. It means that you will get 16, which is positive value. It means root is lying in between 2 and 3. So since root is lying between 2 and 3, so you will find out the mid value because you are using the bisection method. So for the bisection method, you will find x1 or m1, whatever you wish, you can just substitute, just writing m1. So m1 equals to half of the 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3 by 2 means 2.5. Now check for the 2.5. Okay, what is the value, the function for 2.5? So if you are putting f of 2.5 here, you will get positive value 5.625. So f of 2 was negative, but f of 2.5 is positive. It means the root is lying between now 2.5, 2 and 2.5. So your interval will be now here to say 2.5. So take the half value of it, use the bisection method, 2 plus 2.5 by 2, 2.225. Again finding the function value, it is again giving positive value, but f of 2 was negative. You say the root is lying between 2 and 2.25. Means you are just going towards 2 because you want to find the real root which may be near to either 2 or 3, but you are going near to 2. Okay. So f of 2 into f of 2.25 is less than 0. So you can say root is lying between 2 and 2.5. So proceeding in this way, so that you will get the convergent solution. Convergent means if the two solutions are approximately same, you will stop there and getting the result. So I think your root will you will get at what step. This was the first step, this was the second step, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven. At seven iteration, you are getting approximately your solution up to the which step, up to two places you are getting right solution. If you're truncating this value, this will be 2.110, means up to two or three places decimal, you are getting approximate solution. So you say your answer is 2.1016. Okay, 10, whatever they are writing, 16. Because if you truncate this value, you will get this is a 6. 2.1016 is your solution. So if the iterations are very large, so you can stop up to 6, 7 places or can write your solution with up to the two decimal places only you can correct. It is matching up to two decimal places. So in this way, the bisection method works. You can also use in the examination this tabular method. In the tabular method, same you will follow. Finding, just writing the iteration, writing A value here. This is your A value. This is your B value. This is f of A. This is f of M. This is f of B, means value the function at B. Then remark which is positive and giving result. F of 2 into f of 3 less than 0. It means you have to take the half of 2 and 3 so that you will get this value. Now, in the second iteration, you just find out the half of the root. So, what is giving negative and positive? You have to check here. This f of m is giving positive, and this was giving the negative value. The root should be in between 2 and 2.5. So, just find out the half of the 2 and this 2 and 2.5. Again, they are writing B, they are writing F of A, F of M, F of B, and remarks. So in this way, you just continue the step in the table only, no need to write in the copy. Just see on the 6 and 7 iteration, the answer is matching. So this will be your answer, a root, real root of the problem, and they are asking only single root for the equation. So I think this is clear to everyone.